Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. So if you guys are new, welcome, and if you guys are from my previous video, welcome back, you guys. So today I'm gonna be talking about me being 15 and pregnant, the rest of my story, labor and delivery type of way. So you guys, sorry I dropped the cord and it shook me. It all started like when I was 9 months. Okay guys, when I was 9 months, I had went to a doctor's visit, you guys, and it was a doctor visit that I was not expecting at all. My mom had went with me. We were in the room, and I remember she's doing the measurements, making sure the baby is ready to be delivered and stuff. And she gives me some kind of different news that I was than I was expecting. You know, she looks at me and she goes, and she's just doing measurements. And then she's just like, after she did that, she caught my attention. I was like, wait, what's going on? You know? So I look over at her and I'm looking at her do measurements, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna send you to a specialist. And I looked at her and I'm like, oh my goodness, like why, you know? And she goes, the baby's head size not developing at a normal size. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And me and my mom just looked at each other, and I'm looking at my mom, and I looked at her like, mom, like, and she's just listening like, hold on, you know? And I'm like, okay. And mom was like, why is it that you're gonna send her to a specialist? She goes, because the baby's head's not measuring up to a normal size of a baby, so which means that the baby's head didn't develop right. And me and my mom were just like, oh my god, like, oh my goodness, like, I'm 9 months and you're barely telling me this at 9 months. And we just looked at each other and we're just like, and I'm like, okay, so I need to see a specialist. I'm like, okay, you know, we're like, okay. And me and mom, we get out the room and we're leaving and we're walking out. My dad's in the lobby waiting for us because he took us and everything like that. And my dad's looking at us and he's like, you know, smiling, like waiting for us to tell him like the good news and everything. But we don't have no good news, you know. So we're just like, and he's just like looks at us like, well, what's going on, you know? But he follows us out to the. My mom goes like this to him, and we just like, come on. We go to the car and we're walking and stuff. And then mom and my dad are like, I could hear him. He's like, what happened? And mom's like, hold on, you know. And then we get in the car, and she's like, my dad goes, what happened? And my mom goes, they said that the baby's head's not developing right. And my dad goes, what? And I'm like, yeah. And then my dad looks at me in through the river mirror, and he's like, don't claim it, don't claim it. But his eyes were watering when he did that, and I was just looking at him, and I was just like I know, but deep down inside I was just like, I don't know what to believe, you know. Like, I'm just like, is the baby okay? That's all I keep thinking. And my dad was just like, don't claim it, mija, don't claim it. And I remember before we drove off, my dad prayed and everything for the baby and everything for Sophia and stuff. And then we drove home and stuff. And then I remember I called her dad and I told him like, oh my goodness, like they said that the baby's head's not developing at the normal head size. And then he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, like I don't know. And he's like, oh my goodness. So like all we could do was pray, you guys. Literally, that's all we could do, you know. And thank God we did, you know. So we're praying and praying, and finally it comes down to where the it's now time for it to go see the specialist. And we waited the whole week, and then we go see the specialist and everything like that. And I was like, oh my god, this is like moment of truth. Like, I've been stressing about this, I've been worried about this. Like, now it's like, let's go find out, you know. So we're there in the office, and I remember there was like these two young girls that were doing the measurements for me. And I was nervous, you guys. Like, my hands were sweaty, my feet were sweaty, and I remember my heart was just like, you know, like boom, boom, boom. And I could just like, oh, it's just like, oh, I was feeling so uncomfortable. It was like in a position I did not want to be in. And I remember my mom was with me. She went with me to all my doctor's appointments. I remember she was like there with me, and she was just like picking at her hands, like, you know, like digging in her nail, like, oh my goodness, like we're just like worried, like, you know, what are they gonna really tell us, you know? And so then I remember the girls are doing the measurements, and I'm looking at them, and so is my mom. We're looking at them, like trying to see what they're doing. But they're like talking. It's two girls, and they're talking to each other, like you know, and like she's like, no. And I'm like, I hear no, and I'm hearing like, you know, like a lot of head shaking, like no and stuff. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. My mom's looking at me, and me and my mom are just looking at each other. She's like, pray. And I go, I know. And I'm praying, and I'm just looking at her. I'm like, oh my god, what are they gonna tell us? Finally, she's like, so the baby's head is not you know what, we're gonna have a doctor come in here and talk to you. So she kind of like told me that, but she kind of left me hanging there. Me and my mom are just looking at each other like, what? Like, oh my goodness, you know. And I'm just like, oh my god, I just want to know what's going on. Like, somebody just tell me the right answer, you know. Finally he comes in, and he's looking at the screen, and he goes, and he looks at them, and he kind of is like getting mad at them, telling them, you know, like describing and showing them. And I guess they had did the measurements wrong, because I guess they were measuring too short rather than expanding the measurement. And he looks at me and he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, the baby is healthy. your baby is very healthy baby girl. And he goes, congratulations, you know. And I'm just like, oh my god, like literally it felt like I felt like such a like heavy like person, like literally like I felt so tense, like literally when he told me that, like me and my mom probably just like, you know, like that's how I felt. I was just like, whoa, like I felt so relaxed. I was just like, oh my goodness. Because at first, you guys, I was like, my heart was so heavy, you guys, and so I bet my mom was too, you know. But we got that cleared up, and we were just so happy to hear that the baby was healthy and she's okay, and she was about to be born, you guys. So now we're just like, we had to follow up with my doctor. And I followed up with my doctor, and she was like, oh, good news that everything's fine with the baby. And I go, oh yeah, I know, they told me. And she was like, yeah, I'm happy for you, like I'm very happy that the baby's healthy. And she goes, so I'll see you later, you're gonna go into labor, I'm gonna induce you today. And I was like, oh my goodness, I was like, this is not happening too fast now. So then I go into labor, no, I go to Parkview to go to get induced and stuff. I remember as I go and stuff, I was like so nervous, you guys, because I did not know what to expect. Like literally we went to for a doctor visit, and it was me and Joey and my mom and everybody. But this is us, you know. We went for just the checkup for the baby, and they just sent us to go get induced. So shout out to my cousin Jessica, because she did take these pictures of me, and these are our memories. So thank you, Jessica, because I know she probably might watch this. But yeah, so this is us leaving the office to go get induced and stuff. And you guys, literally when they had sent me, I wasn't in like no like pain of any type of like delivery and stuff, you know. But when I was in the waiting room, there was this girl coming in a wheelchair, and she's like, you know, doing all this stuff, and I'm looking at her like, oh my goodness, you know. I'm like, I am not ready for this. And I remember I just looked at Joey, I was like, oh my god, this is scary. He's like, it's okay, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like, I'm not ready for this. And then there was a lady sitting across from us, and she's like, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're using a lot of breathing, you know. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, okay, I'm a little scared. And then finally we go to the room, and they give me a room now, and they put me in my outfit of the day, you know. So this is me when I put this the gown on, and I'm just like now waiting to get induced. And because they induced me, they wanted me to do walking and stuff so my contractions can come quicker. And then this was just Joey, me, my cousin Emily, my cousin Patty, Rachel, and we all went walking. And I switched off with a lot of my family, like it was my brother, and then, you know, we just switched off on walking. And we had like a really good time, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty fun. Like everybody was laughing, and everybody was like, you know, joking around and stuff. And then I came to where, you know, your girl went down. And yeah, guys, so this is my mom and then his mom, and this is just me on the bed. Like now I'm feeling the contractions, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like I was not expecting labor to be like that, you guys. Like I thought I experienced pain, but I didn't, you guys, until that moment. And top it off, you guys, I did not get epidural because, not because I was like, I got this, no, because me, you guys, I freak out if I feel any type of like different, like if I were to feel that numbness, I probably would freak out. Like I wouldn't even care about the labor. I think I'll freaking care about me feeling so numb, you know, like why am I so numb, you know. Like I was just like, I can't do it. So I didn't take the epidural, so I did feel a lot of the pain, which I was like, I did not expect it to be like that. And then, you guys, this is just me suffering the pain. My mom and my tia, they were like literally holding my hand, rubbing my back, and like just telling me to breathe, because like they knew how labor was, and I never experienced labor or anything. So this is just another picture here. See, I'm in pain, you guys. That IV that they put in your hand right here, oh, it's so painful. Literally, I remember I was moving my hands around and stuff like that. I feel like that was just triggering the pain. When I would calm down, like I would feel the pain in my wrist just throbbing, because they have like the IV in here. And then this is just another one of me in pain. And then this is just when I finally went into labor, you guys. I remember I was like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I was trying to get up, and the nurse is like pushing me back. She's like, no, you're gonna start pushing. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom, please, I have to go to the bathroom, because I thought I was gonna like poop my pants right there, you guys. I was like I need to get up. That's what I was thinking. No, she's pushing me back, starts putting up all these things, you know, and then puts my legs up and everything. And I'm just like, what's going on, you know? But I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, oh my god, she's coming. And then I remember they're like, okay, you're gonna push when we tell you, okay? 1, 2, 3, push. push, and I was like, no, I didn't want to push, you guys, like, I didn't. She was like, breathe, push, and I remember she, and finally I was like, oh my god, this is too much, and finally she was here, you guys. And I remember I just looked down and I was just like, oh my goodness, and then I just see the doctor here like crying and stuff, and then I'm looking at Joey, and Joey's just looking at me like, oh my god, like, what did I just see, you know? And they just like throw the baby on me like this and stuff, and I had her, and I felt her warmness, you guys. It was just the skin of her, it felt so like soft and warm, and she felt like a water balloon, like a heavy water balloon. And I remember I was just looking at her, and I was like, oh my goodness. I remember I just kissed her like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my heart felt so warm. And then this was me, and then this is Sophia when she was born and stuff, you guys. She was a pretty good sized baby. She was 6 pounds, and she was 6 pounds 4 ounces. She was born at 3 o'clock on October 3rd, 2015, you guys. And yeah, it's crazy. And then yeah, guys, so then they switched us to another room, and in that room we went to, it's like postpartum room or something like that, and it was just me and her dad and stuff. And I remember I went to the room and stuff, and I remember I was just like, wow, like, she's here. And Joey was like, yeah, she's here, oh my goodness. And he was like, I'm so obsessed with her. And I'm like, me too, you know. We're just like having the love of, like, you know, spending that bond with our family, you know, like, we're just new at being parents and stuff. We're just so happy. But then, you guys, it went from excitement to love to, oh my god, you know, because literally at night it was so crazy, you guys. Like, we got no sleep at all. Like, especially me, I got no sleep. Like, Joey, he took my bed and he was sleeping on my bed. I was like, boy, if you don't get off my bed, oh, I'm just getting up. But he was sleeping on the bed because, like, he had nowhere else to go. And then I was up with the baby because we were taking turns, but he's the guy, you know. So I was just like with the baby and stuff, and I was breastfeeding her because I'm the one with boob, and they didn't give me they didn't give me no formula or nothing, you guys. They just had my boob. That's all I had for her, and I was giving her formula. I was supposed to be breastfeeding her, but I kept telling the doctor, like, I'm not breastfeeding, like, I'm not producing milk. And she's like, you don't know if you're producing milk until you know, you're feeding your baby and stuff. And I go, like, I'm not producing no milk. She goes, you're producing milk, your baby's eating. I go, but she keeps crying, you know, because she was crying nonstop, you guys. Like, I was like, even Joey and me were like, there's something wrong with her, she keeps crying. And he's like, I know, like, and then he's like, is she eating? Like, maybe you're not latching her on right. And I go, I don't know. I go, no, I am, like, she's just not eating. And finally the nurse came in, and that whole night shift, they kind of didn't even help me, you guys. They were kind of just like, oh, well, I don't know, she probably just you know, not latching on right, hold her a different way, and I'll try different ways, everything, that, nothing, until, you guys, literally the next morning I was up exhausted. I remember this lady came in, and it's a different shift, you know. She comes in, she looks at me, she goes, whoa, mom, you look very tired. And I go, oh yeah, like, I go, yeah, she just fell asleep. Like, she just fell asleep, literally, like, when that lady probably switched shifts. And I go, she just fell asleep. And she goes, you should get some rest. And I go, okay. And I remember the minute she walked out the door, I think that's what woke up the baby. And she was crying and crying and crying. She wouldn't stop crying. And I was just like, oh my god, I wanted to cry myself. I was like, stop. And I was just like, I remember I was like, shh. She wouldn't stop. I was like trying to give her my boob, and she wouldn't stop. She was just crying. I was like, oh my goodness. And but like, she wasn't just crying, like, you know, she was like searching for something. And me and Joy are just looking at each other like, Joy's like, she's hungry. And I go, I know, but I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have milk, and they're not giving me a bottle. And because I had asked for a bottle, and they told me that they couldn't give me one. And then so he's just like, you know, like, calm down, it's okay, you know. And finally the nurse comes in, the one that was just in, and she goes, oh, she's crying. You said she just fell asleep. And I go, yeah. And she goes, is she eating? I go, I don't think she's eating. Can I have, like, formula, please? Because at that point I was at the breaking point. I was like, please just give me anything. I go, can you just give me a formula, please? And she goes, yes, I can give you formula. And she came in with the bottle. You guys, she just walked in with a bottle. It was that easy. The night shift, they couldn't even give me a bottle, and I was like up with her, and she was screaming and hollering. Nurses would come in, oh, is she okay, you know, checking up, but they didn't give me a bottle when I asked for it. But this nurse did. And the baby woke up. You got to that. Okay, but she's crying and crying, and I give her the bottle, and she's drinking it. Literally, you guys, after that bottle, she was such a beautiful, calm little baby. Even the nurse came in a few hours, like an hour later, and she was like, oh, she's pretty calm now, huh? And I go, yeah, she's been sleeping like this whole time. She's like, she's really tired, she probably got no sleep. I go, no, I bet she didn't, because she was up all night. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, thank you. She's like, no, don't worry. But literally, you guys, if it wasn't for that nurse, I don't know, I probably would have went home with her like that and thought that there was something wrong with her, but it was just because she wasn't eating. And then you guys, so it goes to where I'm showering, and like literally they leave that big old IV thing that I was talking about in your hand. And I remember they didn't take it off me. She made me take the IV with me. I don't know why she did that, because now that when I had my baby this time around, my second baby, I had to take the IV. She took it off of me and everything like that, but they made me take it with me. And I remember I took it with me, and like I was washing my hair, I couldn't even shower, you guys. I was like this showering, I was like, oh my god, I can't. And I had to do everything with this hand, so I was literally like splashing water on me. I was like, oh my god, trying to get clean. And then I was like, forget it, you know. But yeah, you guys, that was a crazy being 15 and being pregnant. I was not expecting what I went through, but literally it, like, I can just say, like, I went through it and it was all worth it, because my daughter is such a beautiful, healthy little girl now. And if it wasn't for her, like I keep saying, like, she changed my life, you guys. And it's not like, oh, she changed my life because like I was such, like, no, like literally, like, she just changed me into like a mom, you know. She matured me in a lot of ways, and a lot of experience, and it's pretty crazy, you guys. Like, I can tell you, like, being a parent is a big responsibility. Like, I'm telling you, it's no more thinking about yourself, you know, like, I'm gonna look like this, do this. No, it's what you need. It's not like, you know, it's just, it's a big thing, you guys. But yeah, you guys, so it's pretty crazy. But if you guys watch this video, thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys all have a great day. And thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my next videos for maybe me and Sophia are actually going to be doing a tie-dye video, so stay tuned for that. Bye, guys.